Well, days like these is why you have retractable roofs, and we've got an open one on a gorgeous afternoon for football at NRG Stadium in Houston. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here between the Chicago Tigers taking on the Houston Texans. Trucks over him, and he goes out right around the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Back to throw. Page. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. But you look at this defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Back to throw again. And it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. They'll look to throw again. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
There you go, Jack.
On 1st and 10, Callaway. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Ready, break. 18 Cardinals. Ready.
Again, it's Henry. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. With touchdown number 27, that ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Tigers get the upper hand as they're on the board first. Throwing to start the drive. Page.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Page. And this will be incomplete. When you look at this defense, they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1.
And for me, it brings back memories about how tough it is to win this division. Not just in recent years, but think about the decades that have stacked up where we've said the NFC East, always one of the toughest divisions in the NFL.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Here we go.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. A 1st down carry for Henry. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Holding offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Rig.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
60 Bobcats! 60 Bobcats!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
On the go!
At the 26-yard line.
Looking to throw. Callaway. That's complete to Whitaker. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
It's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play. Good
yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Henry again. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. With it. On 1st down, Page. And his throw here's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Page. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Page. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have it.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. Now, during that run, an injury here We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. A handoff running left, Henry. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
84 yards rushing for him in this one, and he is drawing ever closer to a 2,000-yard season.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he fires one incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Henry will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So how about the season, Charles, that he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rare...
Throwing on 1st down. Page. He finds his man. Complete. That's Schmidt. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw on 2nd down. Page. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Off play action. Page. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
On 1st and 10, Page under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room, maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Throwing to start the drive. Callaway, wide open receiver, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A final shot before break. Callaway. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Henry. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided. Only 2 quarters of football left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs. So excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The fair catch taken short of the goal line, and they'll begin this third quarter at their own 25. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route. Throwing to start the drive. Page. Pressure comes and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush?
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up third down. Back to throw. Page. Eluding the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Returnable here from the 38. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, here we sit, week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
Now 2nd and 9.
Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Now they'll audible to something else. On 1st down, Callaway. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Third quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Callaway. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry!
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Go!
Henry running right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
7 Pirates! 7 Pirates! Ready, ready?
To throw on 3rd down. Callaway. Henry's got it out on the left side. And out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Page. He finds Douglas complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
To number 13. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Page. This ball taken in here by Brooks. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Page. And that one too wide and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Hey, alert! Alert, Bronco switch, Bronco
On
switch.
3rd down. Page.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Page. He'll find Jones again. Complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Looking to throw on second down. Page. His throw incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Touchdown, Texans! A 20-yard touchdown. And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Bronco switch, Bronco switch.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So that drive spans 13 plays. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 104 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry.
It's a 6-yard gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First down, Tigers.
A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Running from the gun with Henry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw